Terra Karta presents Apache County, Arizona, APN 212-50895. This is a 40-acre tract. We're looking at the main turnoff from the road there. That's County Road 5020, and we're looking south now. On to N, as in Nancy, 8591. 8591 is officially an unmaintained road, although we were able to catch a neighbor out taking care of it. Great thing to have in the neighborhood. There is a travel trailer on the property. This was moved in by a previous neighbor, and it will convey with the property. This is a view of the south from a high spot on the property. The views in, well, all four directions, but particularly east, south, and west are just beautiful. There's an aerial outline, but let's get into Google Earth, and we'll zoom in on the property. As you can see, we're in Arizona. There's Phoenix. We're actually on the Arizona-New Mexico border here. We're going to be working in the eastern part of the state here. Get zoomed in and take a look at it. Our property's coming into view here, and I want to stop the zoom right there, and I want to point out that we're right here outside of Concho, Arizona. Actually fairly close to Concho. We'll pull out our measuring tool here in a second and take a look at it. Concho, Arizona is a pretty neat little town. It grew up a whole lot after the Great Depression, and then after World War II kind of shrunk. But there's a lot of neat stuff there. So if you ever get a chance, make sure you take a stop. As you can see, from the property to Concho, as the crow flies, is about 3 miles, so not far at all. And let's get zoomed in here. All right, as you can see, just north of the property there is a neighbor. Before we get too deep, let's take and follow the roads to this property. We saw the still images, but let's go ahead and fly it here on Google Earth. As you can see, this is in 8591 we're following. It's a straight path all the way up to CR 5020. We'll take and drop our little man there and get a street view. Take and turn south. There's the entryway. The imagery is dated. This is an old Google Earth image, Google Street View image. But that's where the cattle guard is coming onto the property. You're coming on to 8591 to access the property. That other road that you see there that we're looking at that goes to the neighbor's house, it does extend down to the property. However, there were a lot of large rocks in that road, so recommended to not try that path. Take and lay the property on its side here a little bit and look at the terrain. To the north, the only real terrain there is where the neighbor does have their house built. But as we turn to the east here, you'll see we've got some really pretty mountains out in the distance. And the view that I love from this property is to the south. That is just phenomenal. The photo that we saw earlier of this mountain was taken from the high spot on the property. And as we turn to the west, more of the same, just really pretty foothills. Some people might call them mountains. I grew up on the coastal plains, and those are mountains to me. All right, let's get centered up here. There's the trailer that you saw in the stills at the beginning of this presentation. That trailer does convey. It was brought by a previous landowner. There are 3 main washes in this property. There's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to go into those more a little bit later on. Some great drone footage if y'all hang in there with me. Let's turn off our overlay here. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. You can see the path that was taken, bring that trailer into the property. If you want to bring your own trailer, if you want to get rid of that trailer, that is the easiest way to get onto this property. There's that road that I said came down from the neighbor's road. That's definitely a path that we wouldn't recommend folks taking. Might be fun in a Jeep, but don't say I sent you. All right, there we go. And I tell you what, let's get out of Google Earth, and I'm going to do something we don't normally do. We're going to go into one of our other mapping programs here, and I want to show the contours of this property. As you can see, we've got our property outlined here, roads are marked and all that good stuff, but what we're going to look at is our contour lines. Right here, this the elevation where the trailer is about 5920. The highest spot on the property is between 5920 and 5960 feet, going up towards that peak there. And then the lowest spot on the property is 5880 feet above sea level. So there is some slope to the property. Now these are those washes that we talked about earlier. And I'm going to flip over to a different topographical map here. And this shows us something kind of neat that you don't normally get with Google Earth or some of your other maps. These are actually marked creeks. So these are dry creek beds that when you get rain, they actually do flow water. And it has been documented and mapped. So something kind of cool there. Let's hop in the pilot's seat, take the drone for a fly. And here we come. We are entering the southeast corner of the property. You may have seen the trailer there on the right as we came in. We're going almost directly towards the neighbor's house on top of that hill. And as you can see, we're flying into the fork of two of the washes here. Here in just a second, we're going to drop down and look at one of those washes a little bit. And I am just fascinated with these things. I don't know what it is. You would think that some eroded earth wouldn't be a big deal to me, but I just think it's neat. This is a property I'd love to bring out of my Jeep or a Bronco and just go crawl around on. It'd be a lot of fun. Now these washes are rather deep. These juniper trees you see here are not, well, they're either large shrubs or small trees. You pick. Depends on what part of the country you come from. Taking a look around, we're going from west to south. There's that gorgeous mountain to the south there. As you can see, it's not heavily populated with vegetation. The vegetation that is there is cactus, some small grasses. Our photographer did notice a lot of flowers. And again, the small juniper bushes or trees, depending on how you look at them. Great place to go hide and just be quiet. And we're back to the southeast corner of the property there. Let's turn and take one more look. Man, that's gorgeous. All right, we're going to go back into these washes real quick. Something I'd mentioned that they are deep. They are also kind of wide. I was actually looking at this a while ago, wondering if I could get my Rubicon in there and drive through the wash. Actually drive down it, down the middle of it. Be an interesting game. I definitely recommend not going alone if you're going to do something like that. Getting close to the end of our video here, we're going to fly the southern border and then we're going to turn around and fly the northern border just to get one more look at the property, the terrain. Like I say, there are those three washes. This is the one that comes all the way through the property. This is where that creek was marked that we saw on the older topographical map. The terrain there is some terrain here, and there are some washes, and there is a hill, but it's not just rugged. As you can see, somebody brought a travel trailer onto it. There is a road onto this property. We're on the northern border here, flying from east to west. You can see the fence line below us. Good bit of flat land. There's a lot that can be done here, whether you want to come out and play on your four-wheel drive, your four-wheeler, your side-by-side. Just a lot of cool things about this property. A lot of exploring, some good hiking out here. And literally view for days. Just love it. Alright, and here we are at the northwest corner, getting ready to wind it down. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video. This is a longer video than we like to do, but there was a lot to talk about on this property, and I sure enjoyed putting it together for you. If you want to know more about the property, check out terrakarta.com. On Facebook, it's at Terra Karta. You can email Terra Karta at contact.terrakarta.com or give them a call at 888-276-2214.